Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, brave hearts in this world. It's Lorraine here, and I am here in Australia. And I have the beautiful Sandra May, here in BC, Canada.
Hello, Lorraine. We'll just give her a couple minutes to do the and get things straightened out. She's such a trooper. She's up super early because you know what? All those brave hearts that are out there, they're going to connect with this information is so important to Lorraine. She said, not a problem. She said, I'll get up early and I'll take care of everything for you guys. So she's here. She's quite the trooper. Magic man behind the mirror, you can bring up some slides. We're always first talking about that highway to health. And you guys know, but if you're brand new, you might not know. So, why are we talking about the highway to health when this is a pelvic show? Well, I'll tell you what, that pelvic is in trouble simply because your large intestine has been in trouble even longer. That was the first thing to fall, was that large intestine. It got overpopulated with bad bacteria, undigested food, terrible water that your body had to expend energy first to digest. And so your large intestine's been in trouble. It's probably even prolapsed even just a little bit, and it's hanging down below the belly button. And so it's putting pressure on the small intestine. That's putting pressure on all those female organs. And that is rotting us out from the pelvic region up. And then we get those pelvic problems. So male or female, it's going to have the same effects. It's just us girls, we got a few more bells and whistles down below. And so, guys, you need to be interested in the pelvic health as well, because you don't want your prostate in trouble. You want all your male organs, your penis, let's just say it, you want all those things to work well and to function. And so, yeah, we're here just to come with you and walk you through the highway to health and help you understand how that's going to bring back really great health to your whole body and especially your pelvic region. So, Lorraine, love?
Yes.
Yes.
So, what I would like to talk about is like what Sandra said is how does this happen? What went wrong? Nobody's talking about this. Really, your bowel movements are your computer printout, and most people don't pay attention to them. When you start to get stagnated and compacted and have constipation, things slow down. And when things slow down, that means that there's not enough coming out. So let's back up to the front door and see what's happening there and what the causes are there. So we have to really understand what we're doing as far as what we're putting in here. Get yourself that PDG free if you have not already, and start going through the 4 pillars. The first pillar is the diet. We don't even, a lot of people may be conscious of what they're putting in there, but they're not conscious about how they are putting it in there. So when I say how, I mean, right from where are you sourcing these things? Are you going good, better, best? If I'm gonna choose one of those and do my darndest to make that work for me. So I shop at the farmers markets when I have the opportunity. I was at the farmers market on Saturday here and bought a big thing of produce, and I've been juicing. But when you go to something like the farmers market, you know that they just picked this produce yesterday. So it is the freshest. And the thing about stuff that's in the grocery store, a lot of it is coming even from a different country. So when it comes from a different country, they pick it early. They have to, otherwise it's going to spoil on the trip up or down or wherever it's going. So they pick it early before it's completely ripened. And then they have to put it through a process to speed ripen it. And that's done not naturally, right? And really, it's in the final ripening of that fruit or vegetable that that fruit or vegetable produces the enzymes that we need to be able to break that fruit or vegetable down. So it actually comes, and when you get it from the farmer, it's coming with the enzymes that it needs for us to break it down. If it's coming from the grocery store and it was shipped from who knows where, it doesn't have those. It doesn't have those. And that's why you pick up a tomato from the grocery store. It looks beautiful. You smell it and you think, it kind of smells like a tomato, but it's not that really beautiful smell that you would get when you pick up a tomato from the farmer's market. So and when you cut into it, it's harder and it doesn't have the same flavor. And that tomato isn't serving us. It just isn't. You really want to, when you can, because when I'm up in Canada, the middle of winter, there's not a whole lot I could do about raw and fresh as far as things like tomatoes. Well, you know what? No, that's not true, because there are growers that now grow inside. So that would be my next choice, is someone who's growing in garden inside. Yeah, so it's protected and they're able to grow beautiful things. But anyhow, so we really have to even start way back there. And then when I go to the farmer's market, I'm asking, are you growing organically? Is this organically grown? Is this biodynamically grown? These are the things that we have to ask. And, because we want to be bringing in the best that we can afford, whatever that looks like. And I get a lot of people saying, organic costs more and I can't afford it. And I get that. But you know what? When you switch to something that has more nutrition in it, you're going to actually end up eating less. So to begin with, you probably fill your plate just like you would normally. And then, it's more the satiation, by what it looks like at that point. But when you get used to it, you're going to be able to find out that you don't need that much, because these things have higher vibration. They have higher nutrition. They are going to serve your body so much better. So that's what I do. Then you want to make sure that when you're preparing that meal, that you are in a good mood. If I am angry or in a hurry, I'm putting that anger or hurriness, that frequency into whatever it is that I'm preparing. Everything is about frequency. Everything is about vibration. And when that vibration is high and I'm in a good frame of mind and I'm loving, the smells of everything that I'm smelling, and I'm preparing my body by just being there, this would be a good time for you to grab the kids and say, hey, come on, we're chopping up carrots, or peel this carrot, or whatever. Get them involved and let them be there so they can actually stir on their digestion. Because when you're there and you're smelling and you're seeing, this is part of digestion. So get them involved. Sandra, do you have anything more you want to say to that?
Absolutely. Well, then I was thinking about then once we've sourced it well, we've made great choices, we've prepared our meal with love, then we need to chat about what's going on in the mouth, because we can't just start gobbling down this really good food. If we hold it in, we're going to get so much more flavor and so much more enjoyment out of it. And your digestion is going to start in your mouth, right? That's part of what your saliva is supposed to do is start that digestion right there. And guess what? If we hold it and we savor it enough, we're even going to get some directly into the bloodstream, just bringing it into the bloodstream underneath the tongue, right? So really savor that. You've selected things well. You've prepared it with love. You've included your children, and so now we need to then start and fall in love with the meal and just chew and enjoy. Right? If we're putting something in that needs to be chewed, we need to chew it down to a solid. Right? We need to drink our solids and chew our liquids. And so when it goes down through this system, the stomach says, "Oh, thanks, you've done your job, mouth. Thanks, person. Thanks for enjoying that food." That the digestive enzymes that are present are going to do their job. And if we've chewed it down really, really small, there's a lot of surface area. I know that might sound counterintuitive, larger chunks, more surface area, but that's not right. We need it into lots of really small chunks so that those digestive enzymes can really do their job well. And it is more surface area for your digestive enzymes to do their job. Then it's going to travel to the small intestine. We got lovely little villi in the small intestine, and they want to pick up frequency and they want to pick up nutrients and do their job. And then when we pass through the cecum from the small intestine to the large intestine, it's almost stool by that point. So then the large intestine is going to kick into gear. It's got individual hostras, and it will do this kind of job. It's going to grab a hold, it's going to twist and turn and start forming the stool. It's going to get the last bit of nutrients out of the water and information out of the food and start making stool and moving along. So now we could kind of talk about what if we've done everything wrong, right, Lorraine? What if we've not chewed it? What if we've not chosen it correctly? We've not drank enough water beforehand, right? We've not chewed it. We've not pictured love. We've not enjoyed our food. What kind of trouble then happens in the large intestine, Lorraine?
Yes, yeah. Well, when we don't chew our food properly, so chew to a liquid, and it gets into the stomach. Now you've got these bigger pieces, and your stomach doesn't have teeth. It can't take that big piece and break it down. It'll take what's around, but it's not gonna be able to get it in. So then the transition period slows down as far as digestion goes. And that's when you feel like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I feel my stomach is getting bloated, right? I feel like this isn't sitting well, or maybe it's just a heavy feeling in the stomach. And then it churns and it churns, and your body does such a good job at keeping it in there and trying to break it down, and then it starts to putrefy. So when it putrefies, now you're feeding the bad bacteria, the fungus, and the parasites. So I don't care how good of a meal that you just gave yourself. If you didn't chew it right, chew it enough, it's going to putrefy. And then you're supporting all those bad guys. And the worst one is the fungus. The fungus, when it gets into the large intestine, it drills little holes in the gut lining. And that's what most people call leaky gut. Now we call it leaky large intestine. And what happens is anything transitioning through that large intestine has the opportunity to drop into the pelvic bowl. So now we've created another problem, another place where little creepy crawlers can grow. I mean, if you went out to the farm and you saw the manure pile there and you put the pitchfork in there and you tipped it over, you're going to see steam rising, and you might see little buggies. I mean, this is good for soil, not so good for our terrain. So we've got to start slowing things down. We've got to learn how to chew and really taste and feel what we're eating. Like Sandra said, enjoy those flavors. Take your time. Did you know it takes 20 minutes from the time you start? It takes 20 minutes for your stomach to send the signal to the brain that you're full. So you want to make sure that you have taken your time. I mean, if you go through a drive-through, they've got a timer there, and they've got to get the food to you in what? Less than 5 minutes. I'm sure that's what it is. You get your little bag of hamburger, French fries, and a pop. Ooh. And you take off. You're driving, you're eating. So you're mindlessly eating that. You're mindlessly eating that. And yes, those drive-through places, there's a lot of stuff that's going into there that's not so great for the body. And we definitely have, when we start to eat like that, there is a pull to eat more like that. And it's because we're feeding the bad bacteria, the fungus, and the parasites. And they say, especially in the evening, that's when they start to wake up and stir. And they say, feed me, feed me. And that's where you go through the cupboards and you open up everything and you start pulling down things. And you might sample this and sample that and sample the other, and nothing is satisfying you because there's no or little vibration in what you are bringing in. And the one of the other reasons people do that is because they haven't fully addressed everything that the body needed on a nutritional vibrational level. So when that happens, your body says there is a lack, and it's not a lack of food, it's a lack of nourishment.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You can even do a whole bunch of those things right, and then just simply fill the plate out too much and eat too much. No, good food can putrefy in you just as well. Or you've got a plate full, and then someone comes in and you say, "Hey, Tommy, how was your day?" "Ah, it was terrible." You know what? If that's bad enough news, we need to maybe just push the plate aside, and we need to have a family talk and let our family let go of those things. And maybe the food needs to not be a priority then. If your cells have flown into terrorism mode and you are, you need to deal with something that's going on, you need to then realize, okay, well, maybe I've kept all those rules, but now everyone at the table's upset. So, you need to make a different choice then. And everything that we talk about is all about staying connected and feeling, right? And sensing what's going on. So sometimes we need to pivot, as Dr. Dara Wolf says. Sometimes you just need to be ready to take that right-hand turn or that left-hand turn. And so everything about natural health is all about reconnecting with yourself, reconnecting with your body, realizing what that body talk is, and knowing when you need to stop and make a right hand or a left hand turn instead of just proceeding forward, right? And so, just like we started the show out, all of these things are going to come together, and they're going to say either your body is going to be nourished and your connection to self is going to be encouraged, or it's going to bring about that fungus, bring about those drill bit predators, and start leaking things into the large intestine, putrefying out all those very important organs, having organ to organ contact and having that acidic load. And so then, eventually it gets down into your pelvic region. And it starts to putrefy out the ovaries, the uterus, the fallopian tubes, absolutely everything. And for males, that's where your prostate is sitting. So you're going to end up in trouble too, right? And so there you go. Your pelvic health really does go all the way back to what your choices of what you're putting inside and how those choices matter.
Yeah, and just remember too that at the end of the day, the only thing your body hangs on to is the vibration or the frequency of what you brought in. So, like Sandra said, if there was an angry confrontation at the table, I mean, that's not the time for anger or rushed. I know when my kids were little, sometimes I would feed them and say, we have to hurry because we've got to be somewhere. So now I am making them, take huge chunks and swallow. And yes, we've got to be so gentle with these bodies and really love them back to health and slow down and feel and smell and taste and savor and, put a smile on your face. And when I go grocery shopping now, I am constantly thinking, okay, I'm picking this up and it looks good. And if it's a packaged thing, I'm reading absolutely everything. And if there's more than 5 ingredients in there, I'm not buying it. I'm just not. And because there's Coca-Cola, keep bringing this up, it's a fact. Coca-Cola was the very first company to do what they invented what they called the bliss point. And what that was is it heightened all 5 senses beyond natural. So when we eat anything processed packaged now, it has to hit that bliss point. And that bliss point is activated by the tip of the tongue. So you take that first bite, the tip of the tongue gets activated and it says, wow, this tastes amazing. And then by the time it even gets to the back of your throat, you've lost that sensation and you want to have another bite. You haven't even swallowed this one and you want another bite. And that's what the bliss point does. It just heightens beyond natural. When we start switching back to natural, it's so amazing how the body picks up the subtle changes, the flavors. Like you'll be able to say, hey, did you put some nutmeg in that? And because when you're just chowing down, you're not going to notice those things. So when you slow down and really savor things and take your time, you'll be able to pick up the finer things, the things that were added especially to give that bonus flavor without having to do it chemically, because that's the way everything processed packaged is. Another thing about processed packaged foods is there are over 4,000 chemicals on the GRAS list. Now, the GRAS list, that's the acronym for it, it's generally recognized as safe. So they don't have to list any of those things on the packages, and they can put as many in there as they want. So we really have to grab and take our power back. If you're buying something processed packaged, do read the label. And if it's got words that you don't understand, I'm putting it back. I'm saying, no, not doing it. There is the Yucca app that you can pick up, and you can scan the code, the code, and it'll give you a rating. The only thing I've found about the Yucca app is if there is coconut oil in there, they'll flag it for saturated fats. So just take a look. If there's coconut oil in there, and it says it's too high in saturated fats, that's why. But that coconut oil, like they're just saying it's too high in saturated fats. They're not saying what saturated fat, but coconut oil is actually a really good one, and it's a medium chain, and it actually helps us burn more fat. So it's an amazing thing to be adding. So that would be the only thing that I would look. If it's flagged because of saturated fats, look at what type of saturated fats it is. Definitely if it's, well, I was going to say canola, you don't want that, but canola isn't a saturated fat. So that would be another thing you might want to look at, because you can get organic canola. And canola used to be rapeseed, and rapeseed was industrial oil. And then somebody figured out how to, they did an experiment, and they figured out they wanted to be able to feed the chickens to be able to fatten them. And somehow somebody got this great idea about using the rapeseed oil. And they were able to work it out. And then they figured out that it was a non-saturated fat, and they thought it was healthier. So now it's in a lot of things, and it is not healthy. it's still that rapeseed oil, which was industrial. And I don't know about you, I don't want industrial oils going in me. Yeah.
So they must have messed with the DNA of it or something. They played around with the canola seed until they changed it enough that now it's just not that great for us, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that just makes me think of, do we try to be growing our own foods? Do we reach out to our local markets and see what growers do have the ability to be growing all winter long? Because we need these great nutrients in our bodies. We can't just have them just for the summertime, right? So probably, midway through the States and up, you guys are we're all really going to have to pay attention to the foods that we're eating for the wintertime and make sure that we're getting as whole and as fresh and as locally grown so that they're as close to coming off the vine before we eat them as possible, right? So that just again, it just all brings it home to we need to be taking that position in our lives, that every part of our life is under our own microscope, and we need to be sourcing things out. We need to be checking everything out. We can no longer just go to the store and blindly buy things and blindly do this and blindly do that, right? I think this is kind of the overall program that I've come to realize is it's wake up time, or it's even get more solidified in the sleep zone. So I think everyone here is a brave heart, and we can just keep moving forward and keep doing better and better as we go along. So thank goodness we have a community. And thank you, Lorraine. I learned a few things there too myself. So you know what? It's just exciting. I think life is exciting, and I was admitting that I just turned 53, and somehow it just seems so magical, right? The 5 and the 3, my age even adds up to 8. And then this August 8th was a triple 8. And so everyone's talking about how wonderful the Lionsgate portal is. Now, if that's not your cup of tea, then that's just fine. But I think if you're even just slightly awake, I think you're learning and you're feeling better and better all the time. And we're learning to activate ourselves, and we're learning to connect with us more. So, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you understand how that, even just like you said, a refined sugar or a natural sugar, your body is going to know the difference. As soon as you start giving it some of those natural sugars, it's going to learn, hey, this is way better. And we need to understand that we're not going to get that same buzz, or like you said, that same bliss point off of fake things. And so give your body some time to get reorientated to those natural tastes, and realize that we are in charge of how wonderful we feel, right? Realize that we have been taking in so many fake things for that fake buzz. Do we know what true happiness is? Do we know what true peace is in the moment? Right? So it's a relearning on so many different levels. And well, like I said before, I'm just sort of in this magical zone since turning 53, and I'm just really happy that I'm here and I'm able to reach out to people and say, you know what? You don't have to have a weight coat. You don't have to feel like you have a university degree just to be in charge of your own life. Nope, 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 nope. I am as regular and as average as they come. And thank goodness, I started reaching out. It was right before COVID happened. And I started reaching out going, you know what? I think I need to educate myself. I think I need to figure a few more things out. And so thank goodness I got on the bandwagon then, right? But nonetheless, I just think it's a wonderful time to be alive. So I got off on my own little rant there, Lorraine, but
Yeah. No, this is great. And you said we have to wake up, and I thought, you know what? Wake up or break up, right? That's the point where we're at. Is a wake up or break up. You're going to figure this out one way or the other. You're going to either feel how awful that digestion is feeling, and get yourself into a compacted situation. And just know that your body has not forgotten how to heal. Did you know that when one cell starts to die off, the new one is pulling the information that that cell has, and it replicates that dying cell. Now, it doesn't replicate the fact that it's dying, it replicates the health of that cell, because even healthy cells have their time, right? So when we can actually support the body and nourish and raise the vibration, while that dying cell is getting healthier. So it's going to replicate a cell that is going to be healthier. And in 7 years, you've got a whole brand new you. Your eyes, they replicate, I believe it's every day, every 24 hours, they become new. So, everything has its time. Every organ, every part of our body is replicating. And our job is just to be better than we were that last moment. That's all. That's all. We're not comparing us to anybody else. We're working right here because it truly is an inside job. We want to be able to raise that vibration of the body. So I don't care what state of dis-ease your body has. If you follow the 4 pillars, and especially that Braveheart emotional work, you're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. You're going to surpass it, and it's going to teach you a lesson if you choose to take the lesson, right? I know that that's the way I look at my challenges. Either I'm learning and growing, or I'm setting it aside and it's none of my business, and I get to put that in the backpack or put it. Store it. I wouldn't even store it. No, I'm going to take that away from me and I'm going to give it back to Mother Earth. That's what I'm going to do. But we don't want to carry that baggage either. Another thing that I was thinking too that we should talk about, there's a big buzz about free range and cage free. So, and there's a big difference. So I'm talking about eggs. we're not talking about people, but maybe we are. So when we talk about using eggs as your protein in your smoothie, these have to be free range chickens, not cage free. Because cage free means that they're in a big barn. They're not in cages, but there's, I don't know how many hundred of them. They're packed solid. And then
not getting the sunlight. They're right.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So we want to make sure that those eggs came from happy chickens. And happy chickens get the opportunity to go outside when they want to go outside and forage. And, pick up the little bugs or the seeds or whatever, and then come back and lay their eggs. Yeah. So free range is what you want, not cage free. Yes. So important that we know and understand the difference. What else can we talk about?
Yeah,
you know what?
Just check the time, love. We've got a couple of minutes for sure, and then we can start with some of the other things we need to announce. But yeah, I think one thing that was on my mind was that, if you're brand new and this is one of the first videos you watched, then head to docofdetox.com, dive into the library, get your perfect day manual downloaded so that you can start to figure out what this perfect day looks like. We will definitely suggest the whole plant-based diet. We have a wide range of products that are fabulous based on the humic and fulvic molecule. We talked about the eating and the digestion and what trouble that can cause. And then we like to talk about the ultimate coffee enema. We like to use the vaginal infusion rectally or in the vagina. And so we're just helping you from the top of your head right to the tips of your toes. So yeah, what else? We got probably 2 minutes, Lauren. We can jump in and then
just take baby steps. You don't want, like, if you're eating like the majority of people, it's going to take a bit for you to switch to more raw and fresh. But just take the baby steps and start learning things, start educating, start spending time in the library, the not the public library, but the DACA Detox Library, and start going through the Highway to Health. Holy crap, become number one at the art of number two. These things are probably the first three things that I ask people to go through so that you have an understanding of what's going on inside, right? And how we got there. And you may be wondering, if you hopped on late, why are we talking about this where this is supposed to be about pelvic health? Well, because our health depends on how healthy that large intestine is. And when we have holes in that large intestine, it's leaking manure into the pelvic area. It's a pelvic bowl. There is no exit. So we've got to be able to nourish things and retone the tissues. And that's where the nutraceuticals come in, like what Sandra was talking about. You know, for men, it's your bladder, your rectum, your testicles, the penis, your prostate. I mean, these are all things that start to get irritated and then inflamed and then infected, and then you get tissue rot or tissue mutation. So we want to be able to really protect our bodies. We want to be able to honor, respect, protect, and truly love these beautiful bodies as we progress through this life. I don't know about you, but I am done with just surviving. I am thriving. That's what I'm doing. And that's what this is. This is an opportunity for you to step into your authentic self and become your own practitioner.
Right on. So not only do we have those resources online, guys, but we've got lots of different things for you, right? We have got courses that you can come and you can take. Lorraine is helping facilitate that in Australia right now. You're going to head to braveheartnation.com. Rafa, you've got some slides there about the courses and some prices and things like that if you want to help us out. We've done a reduction in price because Dr. Dara Wolf is so committed to making sure that everyone's got access and everyone can afford to show up to the course. We will be doing courses in Ixtapa, Mexico, as well as that same location in Ixtapa, Mexico, can be a retreat center for you as well, for you personally to come down for what we call a PTT, a personal treatment and training, or bring a group to do a fast, to do a retreat. Maybe your business wants to come down and thank you, Rafa, and your business wants to come down and just do a healing retreat, and maybe just a team training and a team event together. All sorts of different things that you can do down in Ixtapa, Mexico at the DoD 5-star retreat. And then what else we got? Oh, we have a very exciting app coming up. It's going to be launched in mid-September on the same day as the Mexican Independence Day. So we're very excited about that. Going to be a really easy way for you to get access into the library and track which videos you've watched. Put in what you're doing of the perfect day so that it can remind you that, hey, there's a few other things to check off on the boxes. There's going to be a mindful moment that's going to help remind you to get back into the present moment. And so we've just got so many things for you to plug into. We're here to meet you where you're at.
And right now, right now we just kicked off. We're in the pre-water fast. So anybody who is interested in doing a water fast, you can watch the part 1 and part 2. It should be up in the library, I believe, under the advanced water fast information. We just did that, and we will be jumping on, I believe, one more day, Wednesday, for Q&A, and that would be the start of the actual water fast, right?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's lots of information there. You know, we want to be able to help and guide you through all these little things that you can be doing to get your body to actually to help your body to be able to do what it needs to do. So you can become your own practitioner because you will be feeling your way through life instead of doing life, right? Um, and I kind of think we're just about at the end. We do have the Advanced Water Fast sale on right now too. So if you want to take advantage of that, you can go to docadetox.com and /store. We'll bring it up, or you can just go to docadetox.com and the products and source it through that way. Yeah.
Yep. Any which way you want to type it in, it's going to get you to the right place. And always remembering that docofdetox.com, that's a great place to start for everything. Absolutely everything related to Doc of Detox, you're going to find on that page. You're going to be able to put in your email if you want to get noticed of notifications of the sales going on. Absolutely everything you need, you're going to find connections on docofdetox.com.
Yeah.
So I think we're good today. Unless you've got something else you want to chat about, we can just say goodbye for the day and do our oath. Do you have anything else you want to chat about, Lorraine?
Just one other thing. We do
Yeah.
have the Pelvic Restoration and Disease Prevention Masterclass in Ixtapa, Mexico. It is, I believe it's the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of November. I could be wrong. It might be a little bit earlier than that. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But so women, this is your opportunity to come, first of all, to Mexico, beautiful place, and learn about how you can support and nourish that holy grail of your healing. This is our absolute powerhouse for healing the body. So come and learn with us. And I'm looking forward to being there and helping people understand how they can come back home and really be present in your body.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, everybody, it's been great being with you. There's lots of Bravehearts on the live Facebook show and just cheering us on and sending us love. So yeah, let's just end the show the way we normally do. Let's take a couple of deep breaths and let's read through the Braveheart Oath together. So one inside and out. Take another deep one. There we go. I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will always trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself first and foremost before anything else or anyone else. So help me God. Because I am, I can, I am love, I am healed. I am Braveheart. Take care, everybody. Love you.
We got
3, 2,
this.
1.
Thank you.